What's going on, everybody? Travis with RAC Garage, and it's Sunday. That's why I'm back on the 33 431 to Coupe. I took the battery out. This was in the trunk. Charging it for a bit. It hasn't run in 8 years, they said, but tested it here, and it's at like 4.5 volts. So I don't think the battery's bad. I think it's good. This concerns me though, that the positive side is like kind of pulled out of the battery. We'll see. We'll test it out. If not, that should be an easy replacement. Replace the battery. And I open the hood, and I want to kind of clean this. And like, there's this oil line coming from the bottom of this, but when you trace it down, it just ends up, he somehow rigged it to be connected to an eyelet that's attached to the stud of the manifold there. Taking this off, taking this line off. On the other side, he's got a couple oil lines that end, and there's nothing there. I gotta just verify that they're not connected to the engine anywhere. Then I can take them off, because you know, there's no point in just having open oil lines, because if it's connected to pressure side, it'll be shooting oil everywhere. So I'm just gonna go through it and kind of check things out. And this thing's upside down. Oh, never mind. It's not upside down. I was gonna say, that'd be weird if this thing was upside down. It wouldn't work. Putting that thing off to the side. So much funky stuff here. I don't know if that little oil line weird thingy here with a fuel filter in line. If any of you guys have done this, it seems like it's just a prop to hold this thing up, hold the weight up, get the weight off of it. But if you've ever seen that before, you know, let me know. And what is this? What is this off of? It's got to be some kind of truck. There's no way this was on a passenger car. There we go. Looks better already. Looks better already. Line here. We'll take the tape off of the carburetor. Maybe. I like the steel, you know, coolant hoses. Those are pretty cool. Alright. Coil out of the way. I might change this to a modern style coil. If this doesn't work. Gas looks alright. I know it's not good, but you know, it doesn't look terrible. I can smell this 8-year-old gas. Oh yeah. That's foul. Put that back on for now. Okay. Let's get this off. So hokey. Rubber hose, fuel filter for some reason, to a fitting that was crimped inside of an eyelet. It's probably just to hold it up, but why they put a fuel filter in between? I don't know. Ow. I'll keep that eyelet on there for now, because I don't feel like unbolting unbolting part of the manifold. The steering box is in the way, so I don't want to touch that yet. Let's go on the other side and see. Okay. We got some stuff to do with these oil lines. Whoa! What the? I never noticed that. Okay, we're keeping that. That's funky. So that is the heater. We'll leave that connected because it's cool. Doesn't really do much, but it's cool. So there's a hand throttle on this, the foot throttle, and the choke. 3 cables going into the car. Probably gonna have to ixnay the hand throttle piece because I think we're gonna put dual carb setup on this, and that thing it's gonna be pointless. So, and you see we got the funky little oiler. Where does it go? Goes to the oil pressure gauge, which is connected to. So yeah, so that's an oil pressure gauge. This is connected to nothing. This is connect. Okay, so the little oiler system, part of the oil line, is the hard line that goes to a rubber line or clear acrylic line that pushes right on to the stud on the back of the gauge. Very pointless. That's going to be taken out. Then the other one, oh, that's it. That's the only line that there is. Okay. Yeah. For now, I'm sorry, but we're taking this out. It's just in the way right now, and it literally does nothing. It's not doing jack all. So that's it's not pertinent to have inside the car. Let me get some snips and cut that loose. Battery stopped charging. I don't know if it's done or what. Yep, that's all it was. So it just looked interesting. Okay. It does look interesting, and it'd be neat to kind of keep it there, but I might want to connect it to something. I have one of these that's new old stock in the box still with all the paperwork and stuff, so I'll kind of look up where it's supposed to go and maybe hook it up so it works to keep it in here. But as of right now, it's not doing anything. This is hooked up to threads. A bolt. Looking at the car now, I'm not even sure. Well, not the car. The car is beautiful. The car is fine. Looking at the engine, I'm not even sure if all the. This is a rag that was just on here, and it's sopping wet with the same red oil that was in a container. Somehow it was just dripping onto the engine for no reason, probably off of this stud here. Yeah. So cool. That's not cool. All right. So that's gone. Heater. Why he's got the oil pressure right here? There's really no point in having the oil pressure here. Old Stuart Warner. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Everything else seems alright though. And it seemed like this guy really knew his flatheads, so I'm willing to bet that there's something done inside of this motor. What? We'll find out. Sure, there's something done to it because he had a bunch of relief blocks and stuff, so I can almost guarantee this is probably factory relieved, and it might have a cam, and it might be bored out. I'm not sure. And I think he's trying to fool us by having this carburetor on here because he had speed equipment, he had a bunch of performance cams and pistons and stuff and 4-inch cranks, so I doubt that this motor is stock unless he just didn't want to touch it, like he got it from somebody and it was so clean he doesn't want to touch it. That could have happened. I don't know. Carburetor works very well. This can't be 8 years since it was running. To hot wire this thing and get it going. I'm tempted to take the distributor off so I can make sure it's all timed correctly and I can clean the points, make sure the cap's good. I do want to take the hood off though, so it'll be a little easier to work on it, but at the same time I'm like, I guess I won't mess anything up. I don't see why I would. I think I'll just take off the the front clip there, and yeah, take the front clip off, and I should be able to put it right back on where it was, and it shouldn't be an issue. I won't mess with the radiator stays, so it should close just like it did when I took it off. I just gotta find a place for the hood. Probably put it in the house to keep it safe. But this, I keep laughing at this thing, looking at it. I guess it's technically plumbing, so it's closed. Turn the heat on. No. All right. Yeah, we'll probably move that oil pressure so you can read it. If there's not one in the car. I thought there was. Yeah, I think there's an oil pressure in the car. So why there's two, I don't know. But I might switch the one in the car with that one because that's a Stuart Warner and the other one is, there's no brand name on it. Alright, so here it is now. A lot cleaner in here. So we get that, you know, snake oil oiling device off. Got that big oil bath oil filter off. I gotta find some kind of air cleaner to put on there. And that's really all it needed. Yeah, I'm not trying to go nuts with this thing. Still got the anti-chatter rods, which is nice. Usually when people put different motors in, they either forget to put them in or they just don't. It's nice that they still have them. What else? I feel like that's gonna fucking start a fire. Having all this crap there. Probably just quiet it down, but it doesn't seem too safe. These are cool. Hope they don't leak. Probably have to replace them. Very old. Yeah, now I gotta take a pick. Well, take my pick from an intake. I don't know what to put on there. I think I got not an early Edmunds, but an Edmunds for an earlier intake. I just sold one for an 8BA, but I got one for a 59. That'll put the generator back in the front. Don't have to change the belt size or put a offset bracket on or anything like that. And just, you know, run it the way it is, but just put two carburetors on it. I should be able to fit the the fuel pump that's on it, and we should be all right. Yeah, I'll keep chipping away at this, looking at little things. I think the next thing I want to do is take the distributor off to check that out.
Where?
Front and back. Just gently, everything gently. What else is it? This one.
You gotta go quick.
Then we gotta just pull the front out of there. Okay, go up.
That's really hard for me.
Yeah. To me. We got the hood off so we can better get at the engine to get it running and mess with all that stuff. These types of hoods, they cast a lot of shadows and it's really hard to see what you're doing. So it's easier to just take it off, especially since, you know, it's expensive and you don't want to mess with it either because it can easily slide down and mess stuff up. So we just ripped it off. Distributor cap looks fine. Rotor looks fine. Almost brand new. So that's good. Let me take that off. Oh, it's full eyelet. Okay. Dropped it twice. Come on. I can't reach it.
Help? Help?
No, just
Pain in the butt?
for no reason. Like always. Yeah, jeez. Come on. You're loose, but not to the fingers. Hate that. And you can loosen a bolt very easily with the wrench, but somehow you get your fingers on it. It doesn't work. Alright, we try not to turn the distributor until I remember where it is. Okay. It's only a single set of points in here. Why would that be? That doesn't seem good. Alright, so I'm going to try to take a picture of the front of the cam, see if there's a cam in it. That could be interesting. Okay, well, full of oil, so I can't tell. So let me wipe it off first. That would have worked. If I could read it. Take 2. I see a C, and I don't think I cleaned it good enough. So I'm going to see if I can clean it better and see if there's a T. If there's a T in it, I was talking to Ron Sangiovanni, and he said if it says a CT, then it's a place called Cam Technologies. So that would be pretty neat. If there was a cam in this engine, that would be very cool to know that information. Okay, let's try again. There's just a C. I don't know what that means. I'll have to do some research, but C means nothing to me right now. So yeah, C doesn't mean too much to me from what I've been looking up with these cams. And I've been doing a lot of cam research. So let's just clean and look at that distributor. I gotta do some research and see why there's only one set of points in there. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it could be a thing that people did. I'm unsure. So we'll get back to that. I talked to Ron Sangiovanni. He's local to me, and he knows pretty much all the local guys around here. He's been in it for a long time. He actually knew the guy that owned this car pretty well. Not super well, but he knew him. He knew that because of who this guy was, it doesn't look like there's much done in here, but there's probably a cam in it. Most older cams that were like a custom grind weren't marked. You just kind of sent it out, had it ground, got it back. Most of the time they didn't mark the front of it. So there could be a cam in there. Most likely there's adjustable lifters in there. Probably some valve work. It's got the Canadian heads on there. So it's probably relieved. And knowing from being at the place where this car was, his house, he had 3, maybe 4 flathead blocks in the garage, and they were all relieved. I would assume from who this guy was and what he had. This motor's probably a little hot. And it is a Stromberg 48 on here. It says 97 with marker, but the actual carburetor itself has a 48 on it. I don't know if he wrote that to, confuse people, like the oiling system and that oil bath filter. And Ron also said, knowing him, he probably has Zephyr in the transmission. So probably have to do a little deep dive and figure that out. All good stuff. It's getting better and better every time we look at this car and dive deep into it. Another thing with the distributor, one set of points in there. I thought that might have been some kind of performance thing. It doesn't make any sense in my head. Ron did say, knowing Charlie, he had one set of points in there just to make everything easier, because it will run on one set of points. It just, serviceability easy. You only got to buy one set of points. Same thing with the carburetor. Instead of put 2 or 3 on there, just put 148 on there. Bigger carburetor, just no issues because you just got 1. We're still going to put 2 on there. Looks a lot better, and 2 is really not that difficult to mess with once you get them running right. Usually they're fine, especially with the new ones. Mine are new old stock carbs, but for some reason they're still giving me trouble. But the brand new ones, they'll be fine. So yeah, that's kind of what I know about this now. Probably going to buy some points, put dual back in there, get it all timed up, set up, slap back in there. The cap seems fine. Doesn't seem like there's any crack. Contacts seem okay, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll take the plugs out and check those later on, but today's a Sunday. Kids were sleeping. They're up now, so not allowed to mess on this stuff right now. So back to family time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.